I just ate a lot of fish and chips, boys.
Fish and chips?
Oh,
That's what you had?
Fuck, it was so good.
For me, fish and chips has to be good.
It was amazing. Amazing. It wasn't good. It was amazing.
If it absorbs too much oil, I can't have it. If it's raw, I can't have it. If it's too crunchy, I can have it. It has to be specific.
I'm telling you, it was perfect.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Wait, who made it? Cynthia?
No. I paid pros, okay? It's our first time going to a restaurant, actually, since things opened.
Welcome to another episode of Just Us Dads. Thank you once again for tuning in to another Dadversation.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. If this is your first time here, head on over to YouTube, follow us and subscribe. Also, check out all the audio platforms. If that's where you're listening to all the podcasts, subscribe and follow us there as well. Chris and George are here. Guys, how are the fish and chips?
Excellent. Highly recommended. Highly recommended.
What's the place called again?
You know what? Just to be fair, so I don't give a shout out to the wrong people. let me check it.
George went out with the family for the first time.
No, I didn't. Don't tell people lies. It's called Le Shack du Pêcheur.
Le Shack du Pêcheur.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the South Shore.
Okay.
Prairie.
Don't tell people lies. I didn't bring my kids anyway. They went to my in-laws.
So this was just a date.
Just a date night.
A little date, man.
That was good, man. Yeah. Okay. How was it?
Well, I just told you.
It was the first time since the whole COVID thing that you guys went out?
Yeah.
Look, Ben, you got a typical dad answer. Okay, how was the romantic date? He spoke about the food. If you asked Cynthia how was the romantic date, she would have said we had nice wine and great conversation. So he answered the question exactly how he had to.
That's so fucking accurate.
That's exactly what she says.
How was your romantic dinner? Bro, the fish and chips was amazing.
I really like that beer.
The crab tail was amazing.
Yeah, but that's our language. I get it. I understand that.
The beer was so cold.
How was it, Cynthia? Oh, it was so nice. It felt so good to connect after all these months.
We're sitting outside on the terrace. It was nice. It was still daytime.
We had some wine.
It's good. It's good. It's perfect.
Oh, it's so funny. But guys, I think I'm still stuffed though from last weekend.
Yeah, you sure you're not still drunk?
I was buzzing a little bit. A little
bit, bro. At some point, you opened your mouth, and I think I saw the food. You were like literally at the point of like, what's it called?
You told me you were gonna puke 49 times.
I didn't though.
No, you didn't.
I did. I came home and I was fine. The next day was like perfect.
I told you, your body knows to keep the solids in.
It knows what to do with it.
For those wondering, last Sunday was Father's Day, and I told the guys to come over with the kids and the wives, and we had a lot of fun. The kids enjoyed the pool and everything, and we had this huge barbecue. And I honestly didn't even think that it was going to last that long because it was a Sunday, right? So the next day everyone has work or the kids have school. I thought, I told my wife, look, they're going to come in the afternoon. It'll be kind of like a lunch thing. George, is going to come a little bit later. Let's say by 6, 7, everyone is out. They're probably going to have to go home. Everyone was here until 9:30.
Well, look, we were there till 9:30 because with your 4 BTU barbecue, it took it's 4 BTUs. It was like
I don't know what happened, man. It wasn't burning past 150.
We would have barbecued the souvlakia faster on sheep's breath.
Yeah, my kids were begging me for food.
and you know what the problem is, eh? The problem is that while you're waiting for the food to cook, you're downing the beers.
Yeah.
You get thirsty, you down more beers. And I don't even know how much we drank.
We drank a lot. We didn't eat a lot. We drank a lot, I think.
You guys gave me 6 beers in the first hour.
Yeah, I don't know. No, we ate a lot too, man. We had like about 30 souvlakia. We had the pork chops. We had chickens. We had a bunch of sausages.
4 or 5 kinds of sausage.
true.
Yeah, and then
Okay. I don't remember eating them then.
Just whoever's listening, it's funny how we didn't mention a single vegetable.
I brought one.
You brought one pepper.
One pepper.
I brought one pepper.
We didn't have one grain of rice or one French fry. Nothing. Just meat.
No. Because Chris called me, I think a couple days ago, and they're like, "Fuck, dude, do we even have any greens?" And I remember walking into the house. I wanted to fix a Greek salad. We had bought everything.
We talked you out of it.
We didn't have feta cheese. We forgot to buy a cheese. So at some point, I'm like, I go to Joanna. I'm like, did we forget to buy feta cheese? She's like, oh yeah. And instead of thinking, okay, who cares? I'll just chop up the cucumbers and tomato, and we'll have a tomato and cucumber salad, no problem. In my mind, it was no feta, no salad.
So you just threw the tomatoes in the garbage.
No, I abandoned the whole operation. Everything went back in
George, I'm still stuck to how do you run out of feta cheese?
It happens when you live in the shore, my friend.
How does that work?
We don't have a JPA or a Four Corners about a kilometer from the house.
We ran out. I mean, we just forgot to buy. We ran out. I mean,
if you forgot to buy, that means you ran out of feta cheese.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm perplexed.
I just told you why, Chris.
Never.
We live in the shore. We don't have
I get it. Okay.
I don't know. We forgot to buy it, I guess. I don't know.
2 kilometers from our door.
And we just never. But it's just funny that in my mind the calculation was no feta, no salad. Fuck it. I could have very easily.
When I buy feta, I stock up. I have to spend $150.
Yeah. Okay.
You buy the whole wheel.
No, Mizita comes in balls.
In balls, yeah.
I usually buy 2 or 3 of them ground up.
It was a lot of fun. The weather was nice. We had a lot of fun.
It was good.
Kids enjoyed it, and it was nice for them to see other people.
So I'll see you on Sunday.
If it's not, you're coming back on Sunday. I don't know if I will be here, but if not, just come.
But I think I should come for breakfast though. We should start at like 9. Let's start at 9, and then we go home like around 7 p.m.
We should do like the whole day, like breakfast, lunch,
whole day, and I'll bring feta.
The best part, and there's no. Sorry, I dropped something. There's no hockey game to miss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's not forget, boys. Let's not forget.
Man, I was just about to mention it, guys. It was chaos. Like, look, for those listening, we're recording this. It's Friday, so the Habs.
I cried last night. I had tears running down my fucking cheeks. I was so happy.
Really?
I swear to God, I got emotional.
Like, wait, George. How happy? Happy like tears and good emotions, or happy after break Montreal? Like, how happy were you?
I gotta burn down the city.
I gotta burn down the city. Were you that happy?
No, I was happy. I was happy for them, and I was happy for so many of those players, man. I was happy for the city.
Man.
I was happy for the city, man. It felt good, man. It feels so good to be part of this. Like,
it's an incredible achievement.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Sorry, George. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say we were downtown because we're fixing up the condo. Our old tenants left, new ones are coming in, so we're there.
Were you able to escape?
No, so my wife. So I thought I had told my wife, look, let's make it fast because I want to be home by 8. We got to watch the game. It's like a big game. We might win. And she comes up to me at some point while I'm painting. She's like, okay, so I reserved at a restaurant. We're gonna go with the kids. My in-laws came over to help out or whatever, so we're all gonna go together. And she's like, so we're gonna go. I'm like, what do you mean? The game's at 8. We're not gonna have time. She goes, no, we're gonna go here downtown. I'm like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, do you know what's happening downtown? So finally, we went not Griffintown. I guess it's Griffintown. Yeah, Wellington, Peel. We went there where the new hotels are, and we sat, we ate, we saw the game there, and then we walked back to the condo because that's where the car was parked, and it was chaotic. It was chaos. Yeah. It was chaos, but it felt good, guys. First of all, we weren't even there as we're approaching the condo, and for those listening, I mean, it's really just 1 block south of the Bell Center. So it's right where the chaos is. You can hear the crowd, dude. There were thousands of people. You could hear them blocks away just yelling. Yeah. It's insane. It was insane what's going on.
Yeah. See how much we needed it? So how much we needed
it? We could win it, man. And we could win it.
Oh, dude, I'm convinced more than
this is. I think the biggest Cinderella story I've ever witnessed in professional sports. I think ever the amount of adversity. These Cinderella story.
Oh yeah, guaranteed, man.
There's a lot of haters that are saying, "Oh, they don't deserve." No, trust me, I watch a lot of this shit. This is the most epic situation. Like if they win, like I think they're going to. Now at this point, you can't discredit. They're just there's something magical is happening every time they need something magic to happen. It just happens.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. And and we spoke about this because there are people listening or watching this podcast that
they're gonna make a movie about this.
No, but they haven't experienced like it's been so long that the cup has been won by the Canadians that there's people that just hear stories about 1993 or 1986. I mean, 1986 we were young.
Stories is what locked you in.
But I remember 93, man, and that's why I was a huge hockey high school throughout the whole high school.
Can I tell you my origin story? For hockey. I remember as a kid, my cousin would come over regularly. I guess it was weekends because logically you come over on weekends when everybody's home from and not working, right?
Yeah.
And hockey would be that the TV was on. My cousin would be sitting with my dad and discussing politics and different subjects and shit because he was older than me. My cousin's like, he could be my dad. He was like 20 plus 25, 27 years older than me,
Yeah.
And he would come regularly. And whenever he would come, hockey would go on. My dad and him would watch hockey. Somebody else would come over, hockey would be on. It was always in the background for me. I'm just a little kid playing on the floor.
Yeah.
And I remember I was 7 years old, and I was a little older, so I was understanding more. And he starts telling me the whole story because he came here in 1970 or 71 or 72. He came 17-year-old man. Yeah. And he experienced all those cups. He saw 10 cups. He saw 10 parades. He freaked out.
That must have been crazy, bro. The 70s, living the 70s.
For life.
Yeah.
You come off the boat from Greece and you walk into the Mecca, explosion. Anyway, he sold me on the goddamn thing. I was 7 years old. I was listening to him stories. I was like this.
Yeah.
And he's telling me the stories and he's telling me how the league expanded and they had so many years at the top of the league they didn't get a good pick, and they ended up the team got thinner and thinner and they won less championships and la. And he's like, except for this year. And that Saturday night was the night they won the cup. So he's telling me all this history about how they're champions and they win a cup in my face. Since then I was completely addicted.
Yeah. I was way too young. I honestly don't.
I was 7 in 86.
86. I don't remember. But 93. I mean, we were in grade 6. We're going into high school. I remember 96, and that's why throughout,
93. You mean?
Yeah, 93. Yeah. So, I mean, we were going into high school. So we were at that age where we were just crazy about hockey, man. I was a huge hockey card collector. In high school, I used to play mise au jeu frequently. I used to fall because, those high school years, the 1993 was still very close by. I mean, it was there. Like we had just done it, right? Yeah. So the 5 following years in high school, you're like, okay, come on, man, it's us again. So I was really into it. And then I just kind of faded away. You got interested in other things. And
they traded the goalie and they went downhill.
Oh man,
we've been trying to recover. We've been trying to recover from that trade ever since then. This is our recovery. This year is the recovery since that trade.
Yeah. So
it's been 30 years.
Yeah.
I saw a good meme though. I saw a good meme. It said it shows Patrick Roy. So the meme says in 1993, c'était incroyable, right? Incroyable with the ROY bold.
In 2021, it's priceless.
It's priceless. Yeah. It's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. No. They have all these commentators, and obviously I haven't followed in a long time, but there's so many similarities with the 93 championship too, right? With the team.
Well, there's the thing is, they're coming out of left field. They finished the year bad, very low expectations, and
because 93 too, they weren't supposed to win. 93.
Hold on. They weren't supposed to win because how bad they ended. But they were decimated with injuries. That's how they realized they had these young guys who could play. So when the older guys came back from injury, they insulated the little guys and they had this run.
Yeah. Like that year was supposed to be.
They had good veterans, man. They had good players. It's just it didn't seem so until they got together in the playoffs that year. It was so great. I was 14.
That year, I remember every like my father and all these uncles, these old Greek immigrants, they were like, they were flying the story that all these things are rigged and they're planned. Look, Gretzky went to the LA Kings, and you'll see they're gonna fix it. It's the LA Kings. They're gonna have to win because Gretzky's there, and it was supposed to be his last season, right? He was supposed to retire after that, which it didn't happen, obviously.
He retired
And
10 years
everyone
later.
was stuck to that, like, oh no, it's the Kings, it's Gretzky, and it's the expansion and blah blah blah.
This was what everybody was worried about.
Yeah.
Nobody trusted Bettman. They still don't trust Bettman.
It's gonna be, guys. Imagine like I don't even know what to even think. Like, and look, we were young back then, man. Like I was 12 years old, 12, 13, so we couldn't do anything. We're stuck at home. Like, we just saw it on TV. Now
I took my bike and I went to Park Avenue. That's as far as I made it. Park Avenue, Fairmont, and cars were driving. We were just screaming.
I mean, look, we're a bit, but can you imagine being like in your 20s, man?
That's the bike that they stole, by the way.
That your dad was looking for.
My blue Super Cycle.
But now, I mean, fuck, like I can't even imagine what, like, this city's gonna burn.
I don't think so.
I hope they don't, man. I hope that they.
I hope they tear gas them so they don't.
Well, that's what. Look, yesterday apparently they had to lock everyone into.
You know what happens? There's a crowd, and then some people that they instigate shit to cause conflict, and in the mayhem they break into the stores and rob. And they're provoking shit so they could have that to create that opportunity.
Yeah, it's not the fans, bro. It's the stupid people.
There's these instigators that planted themselves in the right places.
Yeah, they take advantage of the opportunity, but I just hope it doesn't happen. I mean, yesterday they tear gassed them too. They had to evacuate them because they locked everyone in. At the Bell Center, they couldn't get them out.
But there was also like 15 arrests, no?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. They flipped a police car over there. I saw some drunken idiots climbing. But mind you, also yesterday was Saint Jean Baptiste, the Quebec national holiday. In addition to this, can you imagine? Like, people are drunk regardless on the 24th of June. Anywhere you walk. Like, anywhere you walk, people are just either hungover from the night before or the day of. And in addition to this, the Habs make it to the playoff.
No, basically, it's a party from 10 a.m. through the day, and then come 9 o'clock, hey, there's a great hockey game on top of it. Let's keep
cherry
going.
on top. There was a cherry on top. Yeah.
So people were just drunk out of their mind.
A lot of emotion, man. Beautiful day, Saint Jean Baptiste, and a victory. Come on.
What else would you want? And it was the full moon yesterday.
It was a full moon.
It was the journalist. It goes, everything is aligned. We have a full moon. It's Saint Jean Baptiste. The Habs could make it to the playoffs. It's gotta happen. Like it's written in the stars, kind of thing.
Let me tell you another improbability with this year. The Montreal Canadiens last night were crowned the Western Conference champions. They won. That was the Clarence Campbell Trophy. It's awarded to the Western champion.
Yeah, because they changed.
No, because of the alignment, because of this year.
They changed everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
I would say that Montreal's the Western. They're representing the West in the Stanley Cup final this year. That's fucking crazy.
I'm confused.
Because normally when
they
you
have
get to the finals,
we have four
team from the East and one team from the West.
We have four conferences. We have what are they again? I forget what they are. Jesus, Murphy.
Whatever it's called. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all confused. All right.
No, there's four conferences.
Thanks for the explanation, guys.
No, there's four conferences. Two of them represent the East. The other two conferences represent the West.
Yeah.
Because of Corona and the limitations on travel, they made all the Canadian teams one division. And then they took some teams from the West Coast and they put them together and they made them another division.
But what was the trophy they won?
That's every year you have a Western champion and an Eastern champion.
Okay.
So the trophy from last night was the Western Conference Championship trophy.
Yeah, but it's ironic because now there's Tampa Bay and the Islanders. So we're going to play the winner of those. So both teams are usually on the Eastern side.
That's right. We usually have to go through them before going to a final.
Yeah. So there's the two teams that are going to play in the finals
are going to be Eastern teams.
Eastern teams.
So it's a guaranteed Eastern victory this year. But it's Montreal's representing the West. How hilarious
The West.
is that?
It is, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Like I was telling you, because you guys don't follow sports much, so you don't. It doesn't ring weird to you. To me, it was like, wow, that's like insane.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the cup was for. I'm like, what is it? Who's winning this?
That's how.
Like, who's this for? Why?
Because I watch hockey every year, regardless.
And then you have my son asking me, and it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Ask your mom.
just text Panusi, bro, next time.
Yeah, seriously, I forgot.
Did they win the cup? No, not yet.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, no, this it's going to be good. It's going to be good for the city. It's going to be good for Canada. The cup coming, hopefully, the cup coming.
If they can pull it off, But
They
I don't know.
can pull
There's
it off,
something going on, boys. I haven't felt this in a long time. There's something going on. Every time they need a miracle, they get it.
Emotion is a big driver. Huh? Emotion is a big driver. And like Muhammad Ali said, the skill.
In the collective, too.
No, but he says the skill is important and the will is important. But from both, the will is a little bit more.
The will. Whoever wants it more. Whoever wants it more.
Yeah, the will
Whoever
is
can
still
take
important.
a little bit more of that bruise and keep going.
Yeah,
just take another beating and keep going.
I mean, you look at the teams they played. Everyone had the Habs losing. I mean, if from Toronto, you're down 3-1. You're like, okay, it's over. We knew it anyway. You know, the Toronto.
We're accepting it, yeah.
Yeah, the Leafs, the best team in Canada or whatever the hell it was.
In the conference, or whatever.
They come back and they destroy them. And then they wipe out Winnipeg, which was supposed to be this powerhouse team from out west. 4 games, dude. It's like, what is going on here,
And they've been playing the same way.
Vegas takes out apparently the best team in the NHL. Who was it? Colorado. So they're like, there's no way that the Habs are gonna even stand the chance. Boom, out. Yeah, man, you're right.
Yeah.
There's something happening, and at the end, each team said people are discredited. People don't realize Montreal's playing extremely well right now. That's what everybody said.
And it's the youngsters, man. They stepped up.
Bunch of fucking kids,
right.
man.
Yeah, and in the
they want it. They're hungry, man.
No, but in the first game with Toronto, they weren't playing. They had kept out Kotkaniemi and the Caulfield and all these guys.
His name is Cole Caulfield. They call him Gold Caulfield.
Gold Caulfield. No, but can you imagine? This is a 20-year-old kid. He was just drafted a month before the playoffs began.
Well, no, he was drafted last year, but he was
but
he left college a month before.
Yeah, like a month before the playoffs. He comes in the team. Can you imagine him winning the cup?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could. You're like, it's been a month that you're playing in the NHL.
Did you see the kid's balls, man? The swagger on him, the fucking
shit, man.
His kid's so confident, the big smile on his face, and after he opens his big mouth, he buries them.
Yeah.
He fucking buries them.
When was the last time that Habs had that kind of superstar caliber player?
Stéphane Richer.
You think?
Two times 50 goal scorer. Stéphane Richer. He came in 19 years old, fucking whipping us.
Good.
There you go.
It's funny. I work with his cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he still rich, or is he broke?
I don't know. But I
work with the kind of questions you should ask. That's where my brain goes straight. Does he still have his money?
and I remember when I met him, I'm like, oh, Richer, like Stéphane Richer. He's like, yeah, mon cousin. I'm like, okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like Richer, man. He played hard for us.
Me too. 44. My favorite. It was my favorite.
Have they retired his number?
I don't think so.
Probably in New Jersey, maybe, because he played.
I don't think so. He didn't have many years here. They traded him. Then they went and got him again after they won the cup. I think in '94 they brought him in. They didn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 runs here.
I don't remember.
He didn't have enough success. I don't think they retired his number.
It would have been nice if Price was 33, though, no?
The number?
Yeah.
No, they retired 33. You can't come in as a huge the next goalie and wear the same goalie as the last huge goalie.
No, but maybe Patrick Ross would give him a call and say, "Look, man, you can wear it.
I was at the game where Roy's number was retired. I was there for that ceremony.
Okay.
It was the game they brought in George Larac to beat the shit out of Milan Lucic because he fucked up Mike Commissaric the game before.
Mike Commissaric.
Anyway, we're going back to who gives a fuck.
No, but we've had some crappy players. Like honestly, I remember cheering for these guys, and they ended up being the most garbage players. I remember.
Hold on, Commissar performed until that fight with Lucic, where he destroyed his shoulder. He never had his career went down south after that. It's ever after that fight.
It's funny, man, because like I talk with my son sometimes, and he tells me this stuff. And what I tell him is that, man, if the guy made it in the NHL and we're watching him on TV, he can't be garbage. You know,
No, let me tell you something.
Maybe they're not performing as good as the top guns, but I don't think garbage enters the NHL.
Every single person on that skate, every single person, even in the farm team, is the best player in either their hometown, their town, their province, their state, or their country.
That's right.
They're the best in these places.
That's right. So it's like we talk about it, but we're talking about
700 players in the world, the best in the world, 700. There's a few million playing the game.
Yeah. So and that,
garbage is a big word, you know.
No. And that always brings it to the debate that in Quebec and in Montreal. Because remember a couple of weeks ago there was this whole issue about one game where there wasn't for the first time in I don't know how many years one Quebecois player on the roster. Remember that?
The first time in their history, because Dano was injured.
But not only that. I mean, then you had all the other proponents saying, "Listen, man, it's exactly what we just talked about. I mean, it's the elite of the elite that make it there, and you're not gonna are you going to seriously pick a player just because he's Quebecois or because he has the numbers and the results that?"
No, I do understand the argument though. It's like there are super elite talent coming out. You're not going to find them. Where the other teams in the league are sending their scouts to these minor little leagues and cherry picking these guys that are going completely under the radar, and they're getting them for nothing. And the talent's there. You just have to do the work.
So where are we getting our guys from then?
They're looking more at European leagues, American colleges, and stuff like this. Like the guys that are scouting for us here in the Q, the Ligue Junior Major de Hockey du Québec, they call it the Q.
Yeah.
They're not doing a good enough job. Where Tampa Bay is cherry picking one guy after the other in the Q.
Right.
A player who came out of the queue is David Desharnais.
Yeah.
If you remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got drafted. Never thought he was going to be good enough because he's not big enough.
But he was amazing in Tampa Bay, yeah.
He was here. He got drafted. We brought him.
I'm mixing up with
you were talking about Le Cavalier. I mean, St. Louis.
Yeah,
same kind of story, St. Louis.
Yeah.
Same kind of story. Too small, never going to make it. Goes in undrafted, destroys. These guys keep doing that, and then we have here the identity of the team is that they're called Le Canadien. They're not called the Montreal Canadiens. They're Le Canadien. It's the word Canadian in French. It's to say we're French Canadian. It specifically says it. This is what people have to realize. They're not called the Canadiens. They're called the Canadiens. It's spelled IENS for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's to remind everybody that it's the French Canadian team, and they call them the Habs. Why? Because they would call them les habitants, which means the people who live there, because people weren't drafting French-speaking players, so they said we'll draft them all. And there was always teams from around the neighborhood that would go in and kick ass. So it was part of their pride. And now they're just letting real good talent who could play for the local market, who would shine here, and they're going to other places because you're just letting them slip through your hands. And this is what they're saying: give a little focus on the local market. There's talent to be brought in, and they're not doing that.
But Pacioretty's
it was a fair argument. It was a fair argument, but I don't think it was a reason to fucking mourn.
But that's the other thing, and I didn't know this because obviously I don't follow. But we traded Pacioretty for Suzuki.
No. Yeah. We traded Pacioretty for Suzuki, a second-round pick, and Thomas Tatar.
Yeah.
Suzuki went straight to the minors. Tatar scored 30 goals a year for us, which replaced Pacioretty's 30 goals, and we still had that second pick. And Tatar who scores goals. He's not really good in the playoffs.
Where is he now? He's injured, or he's
healthy scratch. He's watching from the bleachers. And Suzuki's on fire.
He's on fire, the kid.
Yeah. And the second draft pick is who's going to be an amazing player in the next coming years. I forget his name.
Yeah,
it's exciting times.
People have been criticizing the GM, but it appears now that he made the interesting and intelligent choices.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Look, the GM, the first few years started pretty promising. It went completely off the rails meltdown for 4 or 5 years straight. That's when I told you I'm never going to make fun of Leafs fans again. Because I finally knew what it was like to be a fan of a team that you're looking forward to the off season, because there's no postseason because your team's too shit to get there. So you're looking for the season where you're going to draft and make trades, and maybe you have a better team in September.
Yeah.
And I finally and going through that back-to-back years, I said I'm never going to make fun of Leafs fans again, because this is what their life is like all the time. But I'll make fun of the Leafs all sorts, but not the fans. And I won't do it with Leafs fans because I don't want to bother them.
And what? So finally, you're realizing that that you were wrong. And
no, I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. I'm the first one to say that if you take the last 2 years or 3 years since the meltdown, if you had hired somebody else at the point of the meltdown and brought in another person to do the same job he did, I don't know if that other person would have done as good of a job. So he had a good recovery.
Yeah.
So if you had fired him, you would have and brought in the other guy, and the other guy had done just as well, you would have said this guy was amazing. So if you ignore those first 5 years or 6 years, and you just focus on the last 3, you're gonna say, "Wow, great work." But if you look at the average, you have to incorporate the past.
Because it takes years to build a team, right? I mean, think about it. I mean, how many guys are you allowed to recruit every year, every season?
You're asking vague questions, George. I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to teach you about this stuff.
No, but what I'm saying is that you get a limited number of picks, right? So in order to complete a team the way you want it takes years to build it.
There's 7 rounds. Yeah. But you don't always pick 7. Montreal sometimes picks 12, 13 because they traded players for assets.
Right.
I mean, it's there's 7 rounds. So you could pick, you have 7 that are yours, and you could trade those picks for stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's other ways of bringing people. You could bring people in off the street. Like I told you, there's players that come in unsigned. Some scout sees them and you offer them a contract cold off the street. No agent. Sometimes, league minimum. Show me what you got.
But that must happen more and more rare. Like they're more.
With a cap system, they'll take a chance because what they do is they give them a 2-way contract. So 2-way contract means when you're in the American League, you're getting paid American League money, which is somewhere between 50 and 100K. The top end. So there's some players that make more than 100K, very few, but usually 50, 60K, 70K.
Yeah.
And the caveat is when you get called up to play in the NHL, you go to league minimum. So you switch, which I think it's 750.
Okay.
750,000, something like that. Yeah, it's 750K. But it's based on 52 weeks, a paycheck, 26 paychecks a year, paycheck every 2 weeks. So let's say you could be in the AHL from Monday to Wednesday, and then from Wednesday to 10 days later, the following Friday, you're in the NHL for those 10 days. You're getting paid NHL money. So when you're doing hours, you're logging your hours. You're doing NHL rate.
Yeah.
So you need these kind of players. You take a chance. You put them in your minor league or your American League affiliate. At $100,000, it doesn't affect your team's cap.
Yeah.
And if they do good, you bring them up at a league minimum. So right now, when you have a cap and you're limited on how much money you could give, these are great ways of getting out of cap problems and bringing in some people that could play decent hockey at the league minimum.
Yeah. And look, bottom line, the guy did a fantastic job, and he's proving himself now. Because I remember when they fired Julien, everybody was wondering, why are you firing the coach, not firing the GM? Like everybody, get rid of everyone at this point. They were doing so bad,
I like Julien, the person, but I think his time here was done. His style was old and tired. Him complaining about the refs, complaining to the refs is just, man, I've had those optics for 15, 20 years. It's enough, man. After the press conferences bitching about the refs, it was a classic thing. It's something he brought over from the Bruins. It's what the Bruins do.
But sometimes, like especially now, the last couple of weeks when the Habs have they're on this wave of success. I often think what is Julien probably thinking now? The guy left and the team went into the playoffs and they're probably on the road to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, he's getting paid at a rate of $5 million a year for another season. He's enjoying retirement, man. He's enjoying his success. That's success. You're making $5 million to chill your family and do what you want. That's success to me.
I think when you reach that level, George, man, you want to be behind the bench. You want to play. Like you
The
have
methods change, man. Look at Duchamp, man. This fresh take on coaching and relaying the message and teaching young guys to be the best they can be. It's not about he knows more than him. It's how does he get to him?
Yeah.
How does he go in there and touch this guy inside? And you have to go touch that button. Yeah. And the old way was by intimidation or by threatening, by insulting, by screaming, by kicking. There's coaches that need people in the back while they're blasting them on the bench. This was there's a camera on them. Yeah? You know what I mean? There's methods that become tired. They're not forever. Like when you go out, when you fuck up and you go back to the bench and you know more than anybody, you fucked up. Having a coach that keeps giving you shit about it instead of giving you a chance to fix it, you know what to do. You know what to do. Don't worry, you got this. Supporting it.
Yeah.
Old methods get tired, man.
I don't know. And
generations change. You can't have boomers. You can't have boomers training our kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that in the corporate world. Leadership has changed. Seminars are changing. The way leaders get trained.
The generation gap is it causes too much conflict.
No, you're right, man. You're right. It's new methods. It's new methods of teaching, empowering, and encouraging.
Gen X has to be teaching right now, and he's Gen X, and they're 20-year-old kids. It works, man.
Yeah.
There's definitely a link. There's a connection.
Like I remember my sister's kids interacting with my dad, and I remember my dad responding to them like he would respond to me, and they were like. They were like shocked a little. It was fucking hilarious because they weren't prepared for him. You know I mean?
That's called a generation gap.
Yeah, that's the generational gap. I had to relay the message. I had to absorb it.
You get it.
Translate it. I had to translate it.
But that's what the Gen X is today, man. Between the baby boomers and the millennials, the Gen X is in the middle there.
We're the buffer.
It understands both. Yeah, it can kind of sit down and have a conversation with both.
We're the big brothers.
The 80-year-old and the Gen Z today, or Gen Z, right? They can't even have a conversation. They don't even know how to say hi to each other.
They don't even know. They don't even know how to say hi.
They don't know how to say hi to each other. It's like it's awkward. It's like
one can't even use a cell phone, and the only one only uses a cell phone.
Yeah, one is going for the handshake. The other guy's going for a fist bump. There's no energy. It doesn't work.
If you show that guy a fist bump, he's gonna deck you. He's gonna think it as an act of aggression.
No, but I understand how all this translates to sports, man. You're dead on that. Old methods get tired and ineffective. And you need to, and a coach has to inspire. You have to inspire the person to you know what, to maintain himself. Like I don't need to tell you. You suck there. You have to work on it. You're gonna go work on it because you sucked and you know it. Like you want to better yourself, not because I blasted you to do it. You know. So should I show my kid Mighty Ducks, the movie?
No,
it's not a good one. No,
it's covered. It's garbage. Riddled with lies. That stupid V formation is offside. You can never score a goal. Like a bunch of lies, bunch of fucking Hollywood lies.
But what's it called? The other crazy thing, and Chris sent him a message on that, was just suddenly how we forgot about social distancing. Suddenly it doesn't matter. There are thousands upon thousands of people in the street.
No, that's not what I meant, George. What I meant was these people were in a curfew. They weren't allowed to go out, and nobody said a word. That didn't bother them. A hockey game, and you break things. Look, we come from a country where if the people don't agree with the government, they burn things down, right?
They burn their own house.
I would expect people. I would expect people to be upset because of a curfew. You know what I mean? And just. Have a riot because no, man, you're not going to tell me how to live my life.
And that never happened. Curfew and we riot because of a hockey game.
We accept the curfew and then there's a riot because we won. Because we won a hockey game and but you know what I mean? We're breaking things, right? Yeah, I get it. But it's like the feeling that comes to me is like
93 was that.
the feeling that I get when we won, the feeling I got when we won yesterday was like, hey man, like let's have a beer. I want to drink. I feel good. I feel nice. I can dance right now. I can have a couple of people over and we can celebrate, eat well.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Let me go on a police car and start jumping on it. That's not what I get. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But you know, the images that are coming out like this whole week, where you have tables sitting out on the terrace at that restaurant there in front of the Bell Center.
Casual sport.
And those tables are spaced out because of social distancing, and they have they're cordoned off, right? The terrace ends at some point.
And there's 10,000 people pressed up against them.
Yeah, right. It's fucking chaos.
No,
it's like a mosh pit.
Yeah. But in contrast, when you're looking inside in the arena, there's no one. It's like there's one guy here, there's one guy here. They're so spread out.
Yeah, but that you don't really realize it because they're spread out and it's all around and you don't see it. But that is such a contrasting picture where they're right there. We're talking about 3-4 meters from the table behind you. This
10,000
people just bouncing around, like as if in front of that cordon you can't get anything.
Well, look up until that perimeter you're describing from that terrace. Like surrounding the building and in the building, they're responsible for what the law stipulates, right?
Yeah.
So they're following those rules. Be the sidewalk and beyond, it's the cops.
Yeah, they're following the rules exactly. Now the rules are dumb sometimes, but they're following the rules. And what you see is a dumb rule in effect. That's what you just saw there.
You have the terrace with a barrier, and if they don't follow those rules, the Bell Center is going to get charged lots of fines.
When you're thinking about it, it's fine. But now you got the visual. You know how people say, I need visuals? I'm a visual person. You saw the visual. You got the visual. How it's a bad idea. You're
at the table. You're like, I'm enjoying the social distancing. You have 10,000 people like sardines right there. 3 meters away, there's 10,000 people.
Like pressing onward, right?
There's still barriers holding their bodies back.
It makes no sense. And the cops, what do you want them to do, man? How do you want these guys to enforce any?
They can't enforce anything because they saw the visual too. They saw it. You saw how dumb that is.
Tear gas, they leave by themselves. Tear gas.
You can't contain them. Like you don't have enough police officers to control these guys. Like,
yeah, you're right.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious. This is COVID.
No, but yesterday, guys, it was day. Like people were throwing
the effects of the Rona.
Oh, dude, they were like in the middle of a crowd. You see fireworks, like dumb kids, man.
That's all right. You forget your Greek Easters.
No, Greek Easters. You would go out in the yard, like somewhere where it's.
I remember my friend throwing a lit Roman candle into a school bus. He threw it.
You have thousands of people around you. These guys are launching fucking fireworks. So crazy. Yeah, no, but to go back to what Chris is saying, I really hope it doesn't get out of hand. And it's kind of hard to imagine it not getting out of hand because we've seen that shit happening in Montreal.
Yeah, man.
It happened again in 2000 and
No, we have a reputation of that, man. You guys are like remember
in 2008, I remember.
The Guns N' Roses concert.
Guns N' Roses concert with Metallica.
Well, you don't blame Metallica. Blame GNR.
I'm blaming. No, I'm just saying it's GNR with Metallica.
Came out and played the hell of a set, and James Hetfield got burned.
Yeah.
To stop the show.
Yeah.
GNR was asked to come out a little earlier. They actually came out 3 hours later than expected. And he sang a few songs, and his voice started cracking, and he said the show's done, and he walked off stage.
Yeah. But the crowd, the audience didn't.
They went crazy, bro. They waited for 6 hours for him, bro.
Guns N' Roses got banned from playing in Montreal. You remember when we went to see them at the Bell Center?
Yeah.
And at the end, what did he say at the end? You guys deserve an apology, but not yet, or sometime, or he said something like that.
He's disturbed, the dude.
He's one of those guys that you're a young kid, you like him.
He was the most disturbed in that band, and he did the least drugs.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to give you some insight on this guy.
Dead on. This guy
was warped psychologically. He was warped. He was wild.
His lyrics are his therapy, man. This guy wrote his therapy and made money out of his therapy, but he's a wild case. Yeah,
anger management case or what?
And you're right. The least amount of drugs, but the biggest problems.
Yeah.
And this is crazy because as a kid you like him, right? You idolize him because he's a good front man. It's like, oh, what a cool band. Then you grow older, you become 40, and you're like, what a piece of shit.
Yeah,
who's this? You know what I mean? Like, think about it.
Did you watch that stupid that biopic on Motley Crue? Garbage.
No.
It was one of the worst movies I've ever watched. Anyway.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
it just makes you see what kind of fucking douchebags they are, man. They're just fucking just douchebags. Like you're low lives, man. You're low lives.
But that's what it was, bro. It was the 80s.
No morals, no nothing. But I mean, this is a 40-year-old me talking. This is not the 13-year-old kid that idolized them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. When you're young, it's like, oh, it's a whole different story. And I remember my dad telling me, "What are you like?" I'm going to translate it, but it would be like, "What are you? This guy looks sick." That's what it told me. This person looks sick, and he meant
he abuses drugs.
Yeah. It's physically. He meant physically. He looks sick. Like he doesn't look okay. What do you like about this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Don't say that again. You know. And I defended them, but now it's like, oh wow, okay. And sometimes it makes you think who the role models are, right?
Yeah.
We definitely picked the wrong role models. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, think about it though, man. You had the role models, but you didn't.
Look, hold on. You calling him a role model? You enjoyed the image you saw. You never.
No, I'm not talking about me.
Person.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about in general.
Kids, we fall for these rebellious looking guys in their 20s that stick it to the man and stick it to their dads, and they're like, yeah, you know what, this guy's sticking to everybody. That pisses me off too. I like this guy. But he's not a role model for you because you don't see his day-to-day life. You just see him on stage sing a song. That's all you see.
Well, yeah, that's what stars are. Same thing with basketball players and hockey players, right?
The role model is the guy you talk to regularly.
No, the role model, I think, look, I agree, but the role model is also the person you want to see. It's the person you see on the show for 2 hours that really entertains you. You're right. You don't follow him. You don't go see when he beats his wife. You know what I mean? And he's being a dick to people.
A singer isn't so much a role model like somebody who has a conversation. You know what I mean?
I think kids from all ages tend to gravitate to sports guys and singers and actors.
Yeah.
The stardom effect is an artist, right? So it's a singer, it's an actor, or a hockey player or a basketball player.
That doesn't change. That's what it was when we were growing up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't change. It's just like sometimes it's like there's way better role models, right? Nobody's going to say my role model is Nikola Tesla.
Now it's more.
Oh man, I love Socrates. Nobody thinks like that.
Now it's more because you interact more with them, so there's more verbalizing more and stuff. But back then, when we were kids, you only got the music video. That's all you got.
Yeah, that's it. Or even now, like let's say somebody like Kim Kardashian, right? That's a role model. Like, look, I'm using the definition loosely. For me, it's not a role model, but it is for a lot of people, for a lot of teenagers. And it's like, what is it? Like, what is it? Like, what do you want to model yourself after, right? A role model means they've paved the way and you want to mimic because you want the result, right? You see something great in them. And what is it?
I'll tell you what it is. She made a sex tape with a minor rap star named Ray J. She became popular by being Paris Hilton's fashion advisor. She would help her get dressed because she was a big celeb at the time, and she would go out to bars and stuff and she would be taken in the pictures, and people slowly asked, "Who is this girl? Who is this girl? Who is this girl?"
That's a story of Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. And so as she started gaining some popularity, and she was very hot when she was young, she started dating this rap star, and they made the sex tape. And her mom took the sex tape, and her mom took the sex tape. Her mom. And slowly funneled it to the right channels that brought them a lot of money and fame, and made that show eventually, that reality show.
Oh, okay.
And they're all multi-millionaires because of it.
But her family was popular also. Like her
father was the lawyer for O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, major lawyer.
He was Robert Kardashian. It was his firm that represented O.J. in the trial.
So they were known, a very well-known family.
When her father died young. O.J. Simpson almost committed suicide in Kim Kardashian's bedroom.
Oh, okay.
When he was running from the police back then. Her father died young. Her mom married the Olympic athlete Bruce Jenner, formerly known as. So they were always amongst, they're always with.
Who was what's the relationship with Bruce Jenner?
He married the mom.
Married the mom, and they had two daughters.
After Robert Kardashian passed away.
Two daughters that they have there, Kendall, Kylie and Kendall, whatever.
So yeah, and there's a couple boys too.
There's one guy who was the brother, but he's out of the play. Like nobody gives a shit about him. His name is Rob, no? Robert.
I remember a good one at I forget whose roast it was. She was on the roast, and Robert De Niro said something's different about you. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger in it. I thought it was amazing. Anyway, sorry.
It was roasts are evil.
Alec Baldwin's roast.
Oh, was Alec?
That one was good. Yeah. That one was good.
And like
roasts are evil. Roasts are evil.
Yeah, bad.
We were talking about role models, and I'm telling him how they became so famous.
Yeah, but bro,
I wasn't talking about how they became rich. I was talking about how they became famous.
I know, but it's weird that you even know that story. Like, why would you know the Kardashians?
Somebody told me about the sex tape. I'm like, what sex tape? Who is this person? And then I got the background story.
Yeah,
and then my wife became a huge fan of the show. It was like, fuck, it was. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, somebody told me the background story. So she was a fashion advisor. Okay. And then she had a sex tape. Why does she have a reality TV show? I couldn't make the link, man.
Yeah.
She just became so popular from that sex tape and the scandal.
But your wife was into the Kardashians.
The show, yeah. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's what it was called. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It was huge.
Of course, it's huge. It's done. It's finished. No, or it's the last season.
I think just recently or something.
Whatever.
So guys. So Montreal's known for riots
and bad role models.
Bad role models. Sorry.
I remember my dad though with the rock stars on TV. They do drugs. Look at their hair. They're idiots. Look at them.
We weren't allowed to watch Music Plus. Like it was like we weren't. My father would get mad at us. We would watch it when they weren't home.
Oh, I would watch it, man. My bedroom was full of hairband posters.
Yeah.
And I remember because I didn't put a few. I decided one day to just cover the walls with them.
Yeah.
And I just remember me being all proud, and then my dad coming in. It was a look not of disgust. He was so disappointed in me. I think he looked at it, went inside and cried.
He's like, my son's gonna do drugs.
Who did you have on the wall?
Everyone.
Guns N' Roses.
Everyone from Slash, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Metallica, Megadeth, Firehouse, every band, Def Leppard, anything. It was full.
Yeah.
And now it's like I would. Oh my God! If my kid did that,
really?
Well, I don't know. It wouldn't. I would try to tell him something. I would definitely have a conversation.
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah. I would definitely. Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed.
But yeah, no, because
I wouldn't tear them off, or I would even keep it, but I would definitely have a conversation.
Like, what would you do? Like, you try to guide him to explain to him that these people, it's just a facade. Like, what do you do?
No, but you don't need to idolize that way. There's nothing. You know what I mean? We had a conversation
you didn't have the posters on your wall because you wanted to live the guy's life. You liked his music. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. It was showing people that you enjoy a certain guy's music.
He wanted to be Slash, bro. He wanted to be him.
Yeah.
He wanted to be as good as him at guitar. It doesn't mean anything.
What I'm saying is you can enjoy it without expressing it that much.
Slash was a severe heroin addict.
Yeah.
Were you ever a severe heroin addict?
No.
Were you are you a good guitarist?
Okay.
So, I mean, what's the problem?
Well, yeah, what I'm saying, I could have ended up not being that.
How?
By just saying,
I'm saying you envied his guitar playing.
No, but what I'm saying, George, is that was clear in my mind. Somebody who envies all that, but also envies the lifestyle, because rock and roll was more of a lifestyle. It wasn't just playing. It was a lifestyle. And you go down that path, you'll regret it when you're 40. They've regretted it now. The same guys have regretted it now. Nobody talks now at 65 and says, man, I should have done a little more drugs. I should have smoked a little bit. You know, nobody does that. So you know that it's a bad choice, right? I'm just saying that you don't have to go down that path and idolize that much. You can still get the effects. I'm just saying today, because today the music that I used to listen to, today is something else. and I hate it. I really don't like it because it's more out there. It's more promiscuous. It's what they say I disagree with. The way they say things I disagree with. The language. It's like, all I'm saying is that if that becomes a lifestyle, I don't want my kid to be involved in a lifestyle like that.
Did you ever idolize the lifestyle?
I didn't. I know guys who did. I know guys. We know guys that never came back from stuff because they thought it was their life. You know what I mean? So it's just you just have to be careful.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Everything's a stage, man. Everything's a phase.
No, man. No. We know guys that still have their hair long.
It doesn't mean the guys on tour doing heroin.
No, but there's a lot of guys, man. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that do bad things. They get in wrong crowds.
It's not because of rock and roll.
Well, it was.
Because of the music. It's not because of the music. It's because of the shirt.
No, it's because of what it meant, right? The whole rebellion aspect of it.
I like the same music. I'm not doing heroin.
You're an exception, George.
No, I'm not. Neither are you.
I'm an exception too. I came home to a nice cooked meal, George. I didn't have to sleep in a van.
You can like rock and roll and all the craziness that came with it, and idolize the guy's guitar playing, and not. I agree. A waste case. It's just a phase in life. You just enjoy to party and then you stop.
I agree. It's just that it still needs it merits a conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, guaranteed.
And I got the conversation.
I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed because my kids got some long haired guys or some guy who represents something that I'm not sure of.
No, but it's not about that. It's not about that. You can have the passion for. Look, what I'm trying to say is that you can have the passion for it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to see it as. You don't have to express it that much. You shouldn't drown in it. No, you shouldn't lose yourself in it.
I'm just saying. Let's not forget the core is they're enjoying the music. That's the core of it. When you put up that poster on your wall, it's because you're saying, "I like this guy's tunes. I like this person's tunes." It's all about music.
Yeah.
Anything that falls beyond that is people looking for an escape. If you live in an environment where you need to escape from, this is your issue. It's not because of the poster. You can not listen to rock and roll and go down that same garbage path that we were talking about.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not talking. It's just it's easier. And when you start seeing it as, oh, this is what I want to be like, it could be hard. It could be hard.
I can't agree.
All I'm going to say is
I'm just saying I got judged by my dad because of that poster, but I wasn't anything like that person.
You and me are exceptions.
No, we're not. Our other people we know are like that too.
I'll give you a statistic. Okay, let's say you take the world of sports, and then you take the world of rock and roll. Okay, let's say you enter the world of sports, you have way less probability of becoming a drug addict and dying of an overdose than if you follow the music path. That's just because of your environment. No, don't shake your head. Like Maradona did drugs. There's one guy in sports that did drugs and everyone's talking about it. In bands, I can name you 17 people that have overdosed. Like right now, I could just go for this year. You know what I'm saying? So the environment is different. That's what I'm trying to say.
Athletes do drugs. They do.
Yeah,
athletes
they do.
I mean, people are people. People do substance abuse.
Okay, so wait. So let's say let's say you had a chance. Let's say you wanted to guide your kid. You would put them into.
You're misunderstanding it. I'm not saying I would encourage him to take that path versus sports. I'm saying I wouldn't discourage him out of music. If he likes a certain type of music, I'd let him enjoy music.
No, but what I'm saying, what happens if the type of music is what makes the environment conducive for bad things?
I don't know, man. I don't buy that.
If he plays, you don't buy that? No. If you play classical guitar into a band, it's the same environment that if you're playing bars every night.
I'm saying if you count every classical guitarist in the world and you average how many do drugs, the percentages are the same.
No way.
People are people.
No way, man.
People are people, bro.
No way.
Guaranteed.
No way.
I don't know.
No.
I'm just saying. I can't agree with what you're saying. I would never try to talk a kid out.
Guys, the whole era of rock and roll between the 60s and I'd say early 2000s even now, but I'll say 2000s was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That was a lifestyle.
For the musicians.
It was a ticket out of poverty.
For the musicians.
Yeah, for all that.
But
Meaning that
people, you can listen to rock and roll and not do the drugs, man, and not be super dirty in your life.
You could absolutely. But I'm saying if you're trying to embody the lifestyle, you're gonna end up somewhere where you shouldn't end up. That's all I'm saying. Or at least there's more chances.
You're only trying to embody that because you have other issues, man.
You're not going to end up there. You're just saying that there's more chances.
I'm not saying you're going to end up there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's more chances.
Not everybody's a musician. Not everybody's aspiring to go on tour. Not everybody's aspiring to become a rock god. People just listen to music, man. It's that simple. I'm not going to talk people out of listening to music. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, but I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. No.
I'm not saying you're saying that. You're making it sound that way.
I'm just saying the way this started was if I go into my kid's room and there's hundreds of posters covering the wall, I said I'm not going to tear them down, but I am going to have a conversation. That's how this whole thing started.
I agree with you.
That's all I'm saying.
But no, you said you would be disappointed. That's what I'm questioning.
I would be. I definitely would be. Of course, absolutely, I'd be disappointed.
Were you a disappointment because you had rock and roll posters?
No, but you're not getting it. I'm saying that my dad being disappointed is what I understand now, not then. Now I understand it because I would be as well. It wouldn't be disappointed because this is the music.
How can you be disappointed?
Because
when you can relate.
No, man, because I can't relate right now to the music he's listening to. I can't relate to that. Absolutely not. I can't even tell you what the lyrics are. You can't relate to it.
What is he listening to?
Whatever. I'm not going to go further on this. You're not getting it. It's fine. I'm just saying I don't relate. I will never relate. He shouldn't relate. And I wouldn't discourage him, but I definitely would have a conversation that if you call a woman that and you're cool with this and this, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You know?
Gangster rap.
Yeah. They're not listening to straight up, baby. Do you really want to love me forever? Oh, that's not that. That's not what it is. Today,
I don't know why you even brought up Paula Abdul, bro.
I brought up Paula Abdul because
it has nothing to do with anything that we talked about prior to this.
I'm just saying.
What you listen to your posters did not have Paula Abdul.
The major rock star, Paula Abdul.
No. What I'm trying to say is that today's music, the kids would listen today, what's hot today, has nothing to do with what was hot when Paula Abdul was doing.
Let me paraphrase. Poison.
Yeah.
In the drive-in, on the old man's Porsche, behind the bushes, I got you screaming for ma, 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 ma.
Yeah.
Is it any worse? Is it not? Is it any worse or any better?
Yeah. It's way better. Actually, it's not that it's way better. It was less explicit. It was less explicit.
But nonetheless, you got the point.
I got the point, but because it was less explicit, it's not. First of all, it's not degrading. Anyway, whatever. Look, man, you could believe that. I believe what I believe. All I'm saying is, I would have a conversation. I would love my kid to play music, but I would tell him, be careful. If you do end up playing music, there's a couple of warnings. That's all I'm saying. And the warnings going into music are a lot more. The signs are a lot bigger than if he's going into like classical guitar playing in a symphony.
I remember watching, like I told you,
and this is based on my experience.
Guys, I like I told you, Music Plus wasn't a lot of my place, and I remember once we had it on, and there was the video clip, Boy George, and my father walks in. Guys, you understand? The TV almost went flying out the window. Like it's like the message was loud and clear. It's like this fucking channel plays again in this house. It's over.
But I'll give you an example. I'll give an example, man. It's like, because it's okay that we disagree on this. It's fine. It's like we each have our styles and we reflect on certain things differently. But that's fine. There's no right and wrong. But let's say you are watching a video with your kid. Because I'm at that age. I'm at that age where it gets very influenced. So I try to be somebody that stops the thought, or at least to try and interpret the information before he interprets it. So you walk in and there's a video and there's, I don't know, whatever. It's something horrible. It's bad. right?
It's like
In which that violently or sexually?
It's sexual, it's violent, and it's like it's not good. All right. So if I don't show up or say nothing and he sees it because it's on TV, it's cool. It's right. It's correct. It's the way things should be. I like it. It's cool. I'm not okay with that. I don't mind if he watches it, but I just want to be. I want to have my comment when we both see that. It's like, you know that's not normal, right? You shouldn't like this. That's all.
Yeah.
I just want to be that voice, man.
Yeah, you shouldn't be snorting coke out of a woman.
Yeah. It's not okay to snort coke, and you know what I mean. And you know what? Yeah, it's not okay. Like I want to be that voice. I want to leave it up to his judgment, like his 12-year-old stupid brain. He's still 12 years old, and it's still dumb in here. That's all I'm saying, man. You know?
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with music.
Yeah, I'm still stuck at
You're still with princesses and ballerinas.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, you know. and the like, it's like, and I I kind of see certain things where it's like he resembles me in certain things, and you know what, like, I experiment with a lot of stuff, and it could have gone wrong for me too, and it didn't. But I'm 40 now. Axl Rose is not cool anymore. But I have to tell my young kid that he's going to come through a lot of Axl Roses, and they're never going to be cooler than him. And doesn't have to look up to people like that. He could like the music, he could sing, he could play, but he shouldn't idolize that. That's not what you idolize.
I think Axl Rose is cool. I think Axl Rose today in his 70s isn't fucking cool. He should just give it up.
He's not in his 70s.
When you see old videos of Axl Rose in his prime, you're like, look how cool
he's in his 50s.
Wherever the fuck he is, man. There's no way he's in his 50s, dude. We're 40.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you talking about? He can't be in his 50s.
Why not? They were discovered when he was like 22 in 88.
I don't think he's 70. I don't think he's 70. But he's probably
he was born in the late 60s, bro.
And whatever.
So that's just my point, man. And I could differentiate I know what you're saying, Panus. I can differentiate the music, and I know that there's exceptions and generalities. It's just that I feel that I have to have these conversations.
All I'm saying is this. There's a period in time of your life, and it's always your teenage years, where these musicians and these crazy messages that get you all shaking and excited, they really influence you, and they make you really jump.
Mm-hmm.
You mature. You go beyond that stupid that song you liked as a teenager. You understand things different after. It's a period in time.
Not everyone, man.
Experimenting with drugs is not because you listen to a certain type of music.
Look, I know 3 people that have died of drugs.
I never listened to a single song that told me I should experiment with drugs.
George, it's what you're saying is anecdotal. It's based on only your experience.
I mean, I'm just saying. I know many people who didn't listen to music and fucking had their way with drugs, man.
Oh, I know. I get it too.
They listen to.
It's not because of the music. I'm just saying the music can lead you in bad circles, man.
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily the music.
It's not the music. It can lead you in a bad circle.
It's more when you follow the lifestyle. Look at the Doors, for
It's a lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. It's not the music. It's the lifestyle.
You're listening to a song, and you know that this guy, I don't know what he's hallucinating when he's writing.
George, don't guess.
What do you mean?
You're guessing.
Don't guess. I mean, I can't tell you a song off the top of my head there, but there's a lot of songs where you're like, dude, this guy's fucked up.
Of course he was fucked up, man. Yeah, of course. It was the time where everybody was doing a whole lot of LSD.
Yeah, but that's what Chris is saying. He's saying, "Oh, wow, look, this guy's."
Okay, let's take that example. Let's say
it's because it's what's popular. It's not because they chose that music. Oh, if you listen to that music, you're gonna do LSD.
No, well, George, what I'm saying is that let's say my kid does end up listening to Doors and likes Doors, and I walk in the room one day and I see a Jim Morrison poster. I am gonna comment. I'm not just gonna say, "What a great poster!" Yeah, buddy. Like fist bump and I walk out of the room. That's not, well, at least that's not me. I'm not saying what you should do. I'm just saying it's not me. I know what that is. I've lived it. I get it. I'll give him my 2 cents on that. Like there's that kind of poet, and then there's other poets. You know what I mean?
I think these are things that need to be discovered on their own. I mean, you have to be driven to the other poets, not forced to them.
No.
Your father didn't tell you don't listen to those poets and listen to those.
No.
You discovered both of them.
Absolutely.
So I'm the more that
George, I'm not gonna tear the poster down, but I'm gonna give my 2 cents. You don't have to give your 2 cents. Let them discover everything on your own.
I won't give my. I will engage in conversation, but I don't know if I would ever try to talk them out of it.
We'll talk again when they're 12.
No, I understand. I see it with other people. It's just none of them feel as extreme as you about it.
I think about things. I just think about things differently.
They do too.
No, but it's different parenting style. I'm not saying this is the correct way. I'm just saying this is what I would do. It could be, I thought about it. I've thought about it this way. It's like, I'm better off saying it and hoping.
You underestimate your generation gap with your son. That's what it is. Because there's something that he's doing that they're all doing. It's not because their parents aren't talking to them. It's because this is what they're all doing. It's not because he's listening to the wrong kind of music. It's because this is what they're all doing.
That's another problem.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but I would have them look, George, because it's a phase, it doesn't mean I wouldn't have this conversation with him. I would have a conversation with him and saying, because you know what he says? Like, look, let's say I confront him about it and he tells me everyone's doing it. Well, I have a problem with that. That's not an answer for me. It's not, it's great. Okay, everyone's doing it. It's fine.
That's not what I was implying.
But I'm not saying you implied that. I'm just saying, like, look, man, I question.
Let me compare.
I just make him think a lot.
I know. But when your father was growing up and they were having fun with their friends,
yeah,
it was a certain style, it was a certain way, and that's how they all did it. And then your father came here, he had you, and society had changed compared to the society had grew. So this is how you did it. You know what I mean? It goes with what's going on in society then and there, and the generation that you're born into. You can't be the one left behind, bro.
Yeah,
you're gonna be the weird one if you're left behind. How do you not know this music? We all listen to it.
No, but I'm not.
How'd you miss it?
I'm not saying not to. I'm not the parent that's going to take the tapes away. I'm not the parent that's going to tear down the posters. I'm not I don't like what he's listening to, but I've never told him you can't listen to this. But what I'm saying is that I still throw in my bravo. I just throw my seeds. It's like I heard a line on the car. I'm like, what did he say? And I had him repeat it. Well, he said that and that. What do you think that means? Well, I don't know. It probably means
that's good. That's not what I was picturing.
But that's what I'm saying.
No,
I'm just saying I wouldn't tear down the shit, but I would definitely tell him that I don't like this. Or like on that lyric, that specific lyric, it was horrible. And I'm like, that means that, and that. All right. And I go to him, would you do that? Would you do that with somebody? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, we're cool.
That's it.
But I need to have that conversation. I can't.
Okay.
You know, I can't be thinking that
I misunderstood you, man.
Yeah, Chris is telling him, look, man, it's not all right to have holes in different areas.
Yeah, right. Going like this, it's not cool, you know. It's not cool, you know.
Well, it's swagger, man.
Well, I get it, and that's what I'm saying. No. This is where I think you misunderstood. I wouldn't not have him listen to it, but I'm always giving him my sense about it. You know, it's like, that's it, my sense. And if I'm disappointed in it, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to hide it. I'd rather him tell me why you're disappointed. I like this. Okay.
I would hide him.
Yeah.
I would hide it.
That's the different styles.
I would hide it because it would lead me to conflict.
Me, it's just that. It's like I believe that, you know what, and because things are coming towards them so quick, so fast, I'm not there to interpret certain things. I just want to get a lot in there. You know, it was like, what are you listening to, man?
It wasn't what I was picturing when you were describing it. I'm sorry.
What? It just came out of the blue. Like he just started listening.
Yeah, I'm like, he's like, can you put this in the car? I'm like, yeah, sure. What do you want to put? Like, I'm being the cool dad. It's like, yeah, let's put what you like. Forget what I like. Fuck it. Let's get it out. Let's stick it out. Let's put what you like. And I'm like, what? I was like, what?
I've heard a lot. I think you weren't ready because you weren't ready to realize he's really a person.
No, I wasn't. No, it wasn't that, George. It wasn't.
Think about GNR with the F-bombs when you were a kid. How old were you? 8?
Absolutely. 8? But but when I would blast that and I would think it's cool, my dad would come in and say, And then he would walk away. But in my mind, I'm not thinking, oh my God, this is the best thing. And that's crazy. No, okay, I get him too.
No.
You know what I mean? I get him too.
I was completely the other way. My dad's crazy. This is the best.
I wasn't like that. No, I didn't think like that.
Totally there. Like,
and I understand. My dad came.
This old guy doesn't understand. He's too old.
Yeah, you said I didn't have that.
That's
because you know what he would do? A lot of the times it would be like musiki. And he would put Kazakzili on. And then the contrast would be what? Like black and white, a very low budget video, and a guy singing in a suit. Right?
Yeah, and then totally relate to that, right?
But I didn't relate to it, but I grew up respecting it.
Forrest.
And I grew up respecting that you didn't need to snort coke off someone's ass to make it a good song, you know? But I got both. Look, I like the dirty side too. I like watching music. Not listening, watching. I like videos that are like provocative and stuff like that. And again, all I'm saying is that the 40-year-old in me right now needs to give my 2 cents about why I think about it. Yeah. And you cannot just, that's what I meant by you cannot just get drained and get lost in this stuff without having the reference point. Because you can start thinking things like you shouldn't think all women are hoes. Like that's not something you should think about. You know?
I listen to a lot of things that I didn't even listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
A lot of the music I listen to, I could not care less about the lyrics.
Yeah, or or I wouldn't understand the lyrics. I wouldn't
understand, and I didn't care for them, and I didn't. And even if like there was all this a lot of like, especially in the metal genre music that I would listen to, it was like the lyrics were very like anti-religious or like really like evil. If anything, not anti-religious, it was like religion in the dark side. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the satanic stuff and. It had zero influence on me. I didn't even absorb one word of it because I didn't care for it. But I was really focused on the tune, and I really liked the metal, the rock, the heavy. Like I was enjoying that part. And the lyrics were just sung. It was just another instrument, the way the guy's singing or whatever. Yeah. But the words had zero value for me. A lot of the music I listened to. So when I think of this conversation that we're having now, I think he's in a lot of ways is just the background to how that groove is making him feel.
Well, look, I understand where you're coming from, but the guy can rap the whole song like verbatim. So like one day, look, I'll give you, look, he's going into sports now and he's going into a sport études where there's just going to be sports. And so I'm still going to talk to him about steroids and stuff like that and drug. You know what I mean? I'm still going to but I'm not going to let him discover anything on his own. The world is too fast. There's too much information, and this is the stage where peers start having more influence than parents. So I cannot be forgotten. My words cannot just become like, oh, the old man. No, I don't want. I'll fight that. You know what I mean? But I'll never stop. I'm not the crazy person who's going to not let him do things. First of all, first day at school, he's taking the bus, he's going by himself.
I was going to tell you, at 15 years old, I could recite the whole Biggie album.
Yeah, me too. Not Biggie. No,
I'm telling you.
I know Vanilla Ice.
No, Biggie. Biggie was gangster shit. It was
there you go. What happened to Biggie?
I never turned into that. I just enjoyed the tunes.
You didn't turn into that. How many rappers turned into that though?
How many didn't? How many people who just listened to it for the tunes?
Well, it's called gangster rap because there's a lot of rappers that are into that.
I'm just saying there's a lot of people that listen to it just for the tunes because of there's some truth to it. There's some attitude to it. It's coming from some real pain.
All right, man. Look, I'll say it plainly. I agree with you. I get it. I get where you're coming from. I am more orienting what I tell my kids more. I'll put it simple. I'd rather him become a Ronaldo than Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah,
like I'm pushing there. I'm in that direction. Like I'm pushing more. That's because we're talking about role models, right? So I'll just push more there.
Yeah, you're doing your role. You're not.
I rather have him have Price on his what's his name, Carey Price on his room, which he does, by the way, and Messi, than to have Jim Morrison and Ozzy. Even though I had the Ozzy, there was no Maradona on my wall. I'm
telling you right now, they're not provocative enough. When you're that age, you want provocative things. It's only a phase, man.
I'm just saying what I prefer, man.
I know what you prefer, and you're doing your job as a parent to guide him towards the light. I get it.
That's all I'm saying.
But I'm telling you, the interest is in things that are provocative. It's very interesting to a kid who's coming from this world where his mom tells him to, say please and thank you for everything and wipe your mouth after every bite and make sure you wash your hands and put that away. And then you got this guy saying, yo, fuck this. Whoa, it's provocative, man. It's exciting, man. And that excitement is priceless. It's momentary.
Yeah. Well,
it's something to be enjoyed too.
Yeah, not too much.
You're only a teenager once. And he listens to music 1 hour a day. Because he's doing sports, he's going to school, he's doing this, he's doing that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm talking in general, man. I'm talking in general, and I'm talking about in generally how I see things with my experience. You're right. Not everyone is going to get into that.
I'm going to also tell you, I always thought when I was a kid and my dad would try to talk me out of what I'm listening to and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, man, it's so innocent, man. Just let me have this. And I don't want to be that guy.
But
because I'm going to tell you, they try to always take things away. If something you like, they always try to take it away from you. And it's like, this is the most innocent thing. It's just tunes. Somebody on the radio's hitting some tunes, man. Let me enjoy this.
Yeah, but the difference is that back then, like, our parents couldn't, they didn't understand.
George, your father wanted to throw away the TV because he was intimidated by what they were telling you. Because he didn't know how to handle what they were telling you and what you might become with it. Yes, 100%.
My father could not make out one word of that song. It's just the visual.
He was afraid of the unknown that might send you down the wrong path that he couldn't handle, man.
Yeah,
he was protecting himself from a struggle, bro.
But
from the wrong path.
No, but George, that's a great thing.
I'm not saying it isn't.
That's a good thing.
It's fact. It doesn't mean it's fact.
I'm not saying it's fact, but it's a good reflex for a parent to have.
Did George listen to music when his parents left the house? Did he put it on when they weren't home?
You know what? George is one of those who didn't listen to the crap because his father didn't let him.
No, but he just said the moment.
You know what? Yeah, George is one of those.
When his parents left, they put it on.
No.
Not always, actually.
No.
You said that at the beginning of this conversation.
Yeah, no, we would watch it when they were not there, but
there
not
you go.
Like it wasn't like at Chris's house. Music Plus was always on.
Mine too. I would videotape hours of it so I could watch it when the shit I didn't like was on. I'd go watch the shit I like. I would videotape hours of Music Plus.
No, but the other thing, guys, you know what the other thing was? I like Music Plus. I love Music Plus. But the dirtiest thing on Music Plus then.
Erotic.
That was, and even there, it was well done. It was almost artistic. Like erotic, it was artistic. Today, it's not that. Go see what the word. I'll send you names of what our kids watch now. I'm telling you, man. Either you guys haven't watched it.
We haven't, because I don't have a 12-year-old.
There you go. So you know what, guys? I'll send to you on WhatsApp what our kids watch, and you're gonna be like, "What, George?" You know what? We'll pick it up again next episode. I'll start the episode with like, did you guys watch what I sent you? And if you still tell me it's only music, he's going to get over it. I get what you're saying. And I had that. Look, I experimented with a lot of stuff. I'm glad I did it. I pushed a couple of things a little bit where I shouldn't have. I did push the envelope. I had a great time. I get it. And I'm never going to take that away from him. But I liked how my dad did it. He just threw the seed. And now the seed that he threw then
you're missing the most
is a full-grown plant. And now I want to give it back.
I'm just saying, don't forget the most important component from the teenager side. You lied to him. So he doesn't know everything. And your son will lie to you too.
Yeah, but imagine if I didn't know that lying was bad. It's okay to lie when you know it's bad. But it's a big problem when you lie when you think it's okay.
I'm just saying, people do whatever the fuck they want. They just lie to get it.
Yeah, but
especially teenagers. That's say don't.
We'll talk again when your kids are 12, George. When you start seeing how they think, and you're like, oh, that will get you fucked up, buddy.
No, I know. It's just that you, at some point, you have. It's not up to the parent.
But it's not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't control everything. Yeah. I just say what I need to say. And I just want him to respect what I'm saying. I just want him to respect my opinion.
Take the guiding principles.
Chris just wants to flood his mind with as many key messages as possible. So
That's
they're
it.
just completely playing in the background.
Live what you got to do what you got to do. And I'm telling you, what I'm doing is I'm replicating my dad's method. Like, I'm not saying he knew what he was doing. It just worked for me. And I'm hope it's going to work for him, because it was like, I was never forced to not do anything. And I did all that. But it was, man, I remember every word. So when I was doing something wrong, I kind of knew it was bad. I didn't feel good doing it. I did it because I had.
But I mean, did you really need to be told when something's bad? You knew when something was bad.
No, not if you're seeing it and everyone's like, this is normal.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I remember tinkering with the limits, and some people cross the line. I'm like, ooh, that's 5 to 10.
Yeah, you're a smart kid.
That's 5 to 10, man.
What happens if your kid, like, look, your kid could be smart, it could be maybe not as smart, not as sharp. You can't know how they are. So the idea, you know what it is? The idea, I'll put it very simple. Like, you just want the probabilities on your side. You say enough that you stack the probabilities on your side, and that's it. And then you let them out in the world, and it's just, you know what? I can't control anything, but I could control how you think and how you should think about a certain things. And you know what?
No, you can't control that. You can influence, but you can't control.
But I don't want to control. No, I don't want to control.
Okay.
I just want you to think a certain way. Like, and you know what? Just have these thoughts. Like, basically, what you're living, what you're experiencing is great, but there's also this. Okay, put it somewhere. What do you do with it? You can hate it.
That comes without even forcing it. Because there's a point where they just, they shut you out, and they want to do they're just, things are just amalgamating in their brains.
Oh, it's fine.
And then they come back around you, because they're not sure. Like, I decided to tell you to fuck off, but I'm not sure I really wanted you to fuck off. And they come back around.
I agree with all that.
And you know, and at that point, it sinks in even deeper, because there's a conversation with a young adult now, a real young adult, not a preteen, not a child.
Look, man, I'll give you an analogy. Let's say, maybe this is too artistic, but it just popped in my mind. Let's say your kid it's theater. Life is theater. I don't want to be the guy just watching. I don't want to be the director either, but I do want to be one of those co-workers that says a couple of things here and there, and then we could do some plays together.
You want to be You want to be that stereotypical African American older character.
That's always there.
It's always that stereotypical African American older guy who guides that young white kid to success.
Well, yeah, but it can be behind the scenes. It can be sometimes you take the director. Sometimes it's like you're the co. But I never want to be the audience. I only want to be the audience when he's accomplished.
This is who you're always going to be.
What do you mean?
That character is who you're always going to be in his life.
Yeah.
From this point on, that's who you are.
Yeah, and that's why I try to be. That's what I'm saying.
You provide the whole environment.
You know.
All right, guys. Let's.
And the other thing is, sorry, man. You want to end the show, huh?
No, go ahead.
You get to the point where they get smarter, and like you were saying, they're testing things, they're bouncing things off you to see a reaction. Maybe they'll say something that they don't know how it can hurt you or not. But I believe that you can't stay silent at those points, because it's their intelligence that's being developed. And you know what? You got to be with them, but at the same time, like you got to correct when you think it's wrong, or at least challenge. Because in a lot of times, like, they'll say something, you'll be like, what do you mean by that? And then they can't explain it. It's okay, so you know where it's coming from. Okay, now I know. You heard this. You're just repeating. Now you're being a parakeet, right? So you're just repeating something. Let's see why. I'm just saying, like, when you dig, you find information. You know what I mean? If you, and I just want to be there. Maybe it's a feeling I have, man. Maybe I'm doing it the wrong way. I just feel like I need to give
I don't think you're doing it the wrong way. I think I'm just thinking that you might be overly concerned about the effects.
I'm not concerned.
Some songs might have. It's just tunes. I say it's just tunes. Even the provocative lyrics, the extreme stuff. He walks out of his house. He sees every day. This is not how people live. It's just a
No,
song.
I get that.
It's a depiction of something fictional or something.
Maybe I am overreacting over the song, but I'm still gonna share it with you guys.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
I'm still gonna share the song, and I'm still gonna share the video, and I want to know what you guys.
I want you to share. I want to.
I will for sure.
I want to show it to my boys.
No, you can't.
I play music videos with them all the time. Man.
Yeah, but this might be against the law.
What I'm trying to say is that what shocks us is legal. It's going to be more and more out there.
That's not necessarily a good thing in society.
Well, I referenced the song "Erotica" from Madonna. The video was banned in I don't know how many countries. It had to be redone and edited because it was too sexual. That broke barriers down.
Yeah, but for me, that's a bad thing.
Hustler magazine broke barriers down. You know what I mean?
But for me, that's a bad thing. For me, that's not humanity progressing. Just because Madonna did something and today you can show more tits, for me, it's not progressing. You know what I mean?
No, it was more about the expression part, not about the tits.
But
the tits is like what you're using to express, but it's about expression. No?
Yeah, but the new barriers. Look. This could be another.
They've definitely pushed the envelope.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Could be another episode. How progressivism is not progress.
It's more than I can digest. I mean, anyway, we'll talk about this another time, like we said.
Yeah. Because I have to send you the videos. I'll send you one video. You know what? I'm not even going to send you the worst one.
No, I want the worst. I want something to worry about here. Huh?
If I send you the worst one, you're going to go take a shower.
No. Send
your top 3.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, done, boys. Let's do that. I'll do that.
We'll end it here. Chris is going to send us those videos, and we're going to pick up the conversation next episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We're all supporting the Habs, man. We're there until the finish line. Hopefully, it'll be a happy one for the city of Montreal, for the fans. There it is. Go Habs, go!
Yes.
Thank you all. Head on over to the social media platform, subscribe, follow us, and thank you for tuning in.
Listen to the music.
Bye, guys.